What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this Super Bowl special, the Super Bowl 54 special. We're going to talk about Super Bowl 54, specifically how we got here. And we're also going to talk about sort of the season in review, man. It was a very, very interesting season. All kinds of storylines, from Lamar Jackson to the resurgence of Ryan Tannehill. Amazing what you can do when you actually have a running game and have time to throw the football. We'll talk about Tom Brady's impending retirement. Maybe Drew Brees retires. Maybe Tom Brady switches teams. There are a lot of things up in the air. So I'm going to go around the panel here, and I'm going to ask you guys, what to you was the biggest story of the NFL season? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the biggest story, in your opinion, of the NFL season. And then we're going to talk about the biggest surprise, your biggest surprise. So Miami J, let me start with you, man. What was the biggest story of the NFL season this year?
Hey, to me, it was the 49ers turnaround, man. I mean, they went from a 4-12 team to legit Super Bowl, contenders. That was pretty fucking impressive, especially considering Jimmy G that hasn't really done much.
Right. What were they, like 4-12 last season, something like that?
Yeah, 4-12.
From 4-12 to 13-3, and I would argue one of their losses, I think all three of their losses have been on the last play of the game. They lost on a last-second field goal to Baltimore. They lost on a last-second fluke play that probably shouldn't have been to the Falcons, and then I think they lost on a last-second play against the Seahawks in overtime. So, I'm not that guy's going to say, well, we're just 3 plays away from being 16-0, but yeah, their turnaround is certainly been spectacular. Charlie, what to you was the biggest story, the most interesting story of the NFL season?
To me, it's got to be Lamar Jackson, simply because I think the last time that we had this group together here talking NFL stuff, I got his name wrong. I called him, I think, LeVar Jackson or something like that, And I was just like, I knew who he was, but I didn't know, that much about him, right? And, just statistically wise, I mean, he blew everybody out of the water, even broke Michael Vick's record. And then in terms of, an unanimous MVP, he's only one of 4 players ever to have that. So I would agree, along with the 49ers, that's probably something that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. MLD. And listen, we all have our teams. I'm an Eagles fan. MLD, you're a Cowboys fan. Miami J likes the Dolphins, and Charlie, of course, is a Vikings fan. But in your and I love how MLD does not try to hide his bias. In your opinion, and let's try to be subjective, what was the biggest story in this year's NFL season? I'm going to try not to say Carson Wentz lasted for 16.1 games this season, which was great. But what say you? Well, what's the biggest story this season for you?
I think, and again, I think, okay, I'm going to give you my non-biased one, then I'm going to give you my biased one. I think I'm going to be a little off the grain here, but I think the Titans' success in the playoffs, I think, with Tom Brady losing to the Dolphins, and then the Titans not only knocking off, who did they knock off initially? Sorry, they knocked off the
Patriots.
They beat the Patriots, and they beat the Ravens.
They knocked off the Patriots, and then I was like, okay, they're going to lose to the Ravens for sure. And then they knock off the Ravens, because like me and Charlie were actually hanging out at my place the other day, and we were just like looking up the stats, and we saw that Lamar Jackson is like the number 6 running back in the NFL, and he's a fucking quarterback, Jesus. So we were looking up all this shit, and we're like, God damn, like the Titans are gonna get fucking destroyed. And then the Titans destroyed them. So that was huge.
Well,
and then
Derrick Henry's the goddamn man there.
Dude.
That guy is a beast of a man. That guy is terrifying.
Listen, as terrifying as Derrick Henry is, he should not have won the Heisman Trophy the year that he won it, guys. The Heisman Trophy winner that year should have absolutely been Christian McCaffrey, but there were 2 factors that were involved. Number 1, there's East Coast bias, right? Alabama is a brand name. They are a blue blood program. Number 2 is race, right? black running back, white running back. That's just kind of how it was. And of course, Christian McCaffrey comes out and says, well, the fact that I'm white kind of, and then of course everybody's out here like, cry me a fucking river. Well, listen, you can think whatever you want, but Derrick Henry was not the best running back. He might not even been the best. Dude, Christian McCaffrey is still a better running back, in my opinion, than Derrick Henry. Now, Christian McCaffrey hasn't been to the playoffs yet, and Derrick Henry is about to get seriously paid, but I agree with you. I think Derrick Henry in the playoffs, or the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs, was definitely a big story. The biggest story in the NFL to me this year.
I got my biased one real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So my biased one.
I love it.
10 years in the fucking waiting.
Oh yes.
But we finally got rid of fucking Jason Garrett. Finally,
Oh
senile Jerry Jones
finally did it.
fucking realized it. And like, I don't know why they got rid of Dan Bailey either, because our new kicker that we
I
got
have no
was
idea why.
awful.
He went to the
Awful.
Vikings, didn't he?
Yeah,
Dan Bailey's at the
we got him.
Vikings, and then we finally got rid of our guy, and then we got the new one, and he did really good. But, not only did we get rid of Jason Garrett, but I think Mike McCarthy, even though he was fucking literally choking at the press conference, I think that he's a huge upgrade, and probably without Jimmy Johnson, he's probably he's the greatest head coach in Dallas Cowboys history, other than Jimmy Johnson, as far as accolades go. I'm not a big fan of Barry Switzer. I think he kind of reined in
all Barry Switzer had to do was keep it on the road. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. He's he's Apollo Creed in the 15th round in Rocky. All he has to do is stay awake. He retains the belt. Of course, Apollo goes for the knockout. He ends up losing. All Barry Switzer had to do is not fuck it up, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
They caught Barry Switzer in the airport with like a pistol in it, and he got arrested.
No shit.
Yeah, this is
a
in the 90s.
From Oklahoma. What the hell does that?
He had a revolver, I think.
Hey,
He got
not to
arrested.
derail this thing, but Donovan, before you give your number one story, two stories that were fucking huge also: the fall of Antonio Brown.
Ooh.
Oh
yeah. And Luke Kuechly's retirement.
Oh my God! Yes, holy shit.
Well, and Antonio Brown actually got humbled recently, right? He actually apologized to the police.
I think he has to me. Right. And those are very, very good by Miami J. But to me, the biggest story in the NFL was the retirement of Andrew Luck. Man, Andrew Luck's retirement, and a lot of people forgot about it because the season started, which just goes to show the NFL is going to move on with or without you. Antonio Brown, I think, is making the egregious mistake, or he made the egregious mistake of thinking that the NFL cannot exist without me. Well, obviously, Andrew Luck, one of the biggest stars in the sport, retired. Guess what? Next man up, Jacoby Brissett. That to me was the biggest story. And there are a lot of big stories in the NFL.
I think Luck will be back though.
You think so?
Yeah, he was way too young. Yeah, I think he'll be back maybe in a year or two.
You know what? I would agree. I actually said that he might be thinking about coming back after a year or two, because if you remember, the Indianapolis Colts, they just got rid of who was it? Their GM Ryan Grigson, right? He was a whack GM. He had a semi-mobile quarterback, and he never really did much to protect Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck got shell-shocked. Andrew Luck David Carr is Andrew Luck, 10, 15 years ago. David Carr was the first overall pick of the Houston Texans, and he was a really good quarterback, but he got hit so many times that they set like an NFL record for the most sacks of a quarterback in 5 years. He was shell-shocked. He ended up backing up. He has a Super Bowl. He ended up backing up Eli Manning in Super Bowl 42, I think, and 46. I'm not really sure which one. It might be both.
Yeah, he's got 2 rings.
Yeah, right. But Andrew Luck was certainly headed in that direction. Now they actually have a pretty decent offensive line. And I forget the kid's name out of Notre Dame. He made the Pro Bowl this year. But to me, the biggest story of the season was Andrew Luck. My biased biggest story of the year, I guess, here in Philly is that Carson Wentz made it through an entire season without getting hurt. And then, of course, what happens on the second drive of this very first playoff start, he leaves with a concussion. Now, listen, that was obviously a dirty hit. Jadeveon Clowney, used himself as a missile. He literally, put his head down toward. So, hey, listen, baby steps, right? I think that Carson Wentz has definitely cemented himself as when healthy, there's the caveat, when healthy, the best quarterback in the NFC East. I think we had lost to the Dolphins, and we went on a 4-game winning streak.
Sorry, you lost to who?
The Dolphins. Let me ask you this, Joel. Do you think that win against the Eagles cost the Dolphins too, because Devin's from Florida, and her father is a huge Dolphins fan, and he says that, you know what, the fact that we beat the Eagles today, we might have cost ourselves Tua, but you're not really a Tua guy.
I'm not a Tua guy, but either way, I mean, from what I'm seeing, the Dolphins got the 5th pick. They're probably going to get Tua anyway. There's no.
Let me look at the NFL draft. Order. NFL draft order 2020. Now, while I'm looking up the NFL draft, okay, oh wow, you're right. So the Bengals are going number 1. They're going with Joe Burrow, right? The Washington Redskins already have their guy, Dwayne Haskins, and Alex Smith might be coming back. The Lions have Matthew Stafford. The Giants have Daniel Jones. Yeah, I think the Dolphins.
Matthew Stafford is pretty banged up, though. It's the first time he went out with an injury, and I think in his entire career for a full game. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. I think the Lions are definitely going to draft a quarterback, but if they do, it's not going to be the first round. They're probably looking for maybe a 3rd or a 4th round guy, maybe sit behind Stafford for a few years. Let's go over what our most surprising stories were. Miami J, I'm going to start with you. What was the biggest shock of the NFL season this season?
That the Dolphins shocked me. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Dolphins fan. I mean, with that roster, Brian Flores surprised the hell out of some people.
Yeah. They play. He surprised the hell out of the Eagles, man. Like that's
one thing that I did find surprising that the Dolphins did was and I feel so bad for this kid, but they didn't really give Josh Rosen a shot.
They didn't.
He started like 3 games, and now they're going to move on from him again. This kid I feel really bad for him because he was supposed to be the number 1 guy coming out of that draft and gets sent to Arizona, gets fucked over for Kyler Murray, and now the Dolphins fucked him over too.
No, I agree. I don't think Josh Rosen got a fair shake. I think they said what's the guy? Ryan Fitzpatrick is supposed to be coming back for another season. So I mean,
and I hope he does. I hope whoever the Dolphins draft, they sit him for a year. I don't want to. I don't want him to put out the rookie quarterback out there just to get pummeled.
No, I totally agree. I agree 100%. Charlie, your biggest surprise this NFL season?
I'm going to go with something that's a little bit close to home and a little bit, I guess, biased in my opinion as well, is that Kirk Cousins won a playoff game.
Yes! Kirk Cousins finally did it, man.
Yeah. Week 17, the Vikings sat their entire first string. So we basically played a preseason game with our second string against the Bears' entire first string.
Right.
And we lost by like 2 points. And we had some guy named Mannion as our quarterback.
Sean Mannion out of Oklahoma or out of Oregon State. Yes. I
didn't even know he was on the roster and haven't seen him throw a pass. He the first half he just sucked, and the second half he actually picked it up. Then we had like a rookie wide receiver as well. But so everybody was saying like, well, if we don't win, against the Saints, which we were like, we had like a 20% chance max, maybe 30.
Yeah.
Then people start kind of talking about Mike Zimmer's future as a coach, right? And but he pulled a good move. He rested all his starters. Our defense was fucking awesome in that game. The only guy who could do anything against us with the Saints was Taysom Hill.
Yes. Yeah.
He was awesome. But we intercepted Drew Brees. Anyways, back to my point. Kirk Cousins won the thing at the end.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. He threw a dime to Adam Thielen. As soon as he hit Thielen, I was like, oh my God, they're really going to fight.
Yep.
Thielen's a beast too.
And then Kyle Rudolph one-handed it. That guy.
Oh yes. Awesome. Right. Was it pass it? Or was it, was that offensive pass interference? Dude, whatever.
Yeah. Well, they had Bounty Gate against us in 2009. You got to get back.
There you go. Right. A lot of people talk about, the Patriots got lucky, or the Giants got the Patriots could have a bunch of Super Bowls if what's his name? What's the guy's? David Tyree doesn't make the catch, then they would have another Super Bowl. Yeah, that's true. But if the Seattle Seahawks run it instead of pass it in Super Bowl 49, they would not have won that one. If Wes Welker makes a catch on 3rd and 12, if he doesn't drop the pass, they win Super Bowl 46. So I think there are different ebbs and flows.
And Tom Brady's wife doesn't yell at him.
Dude, honestly, man, I think Giselle Bundchen, I think she's in pocket, because if you remember, she came out and said, Thomas told me he's had multiple concussions and blah, 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 blah. And we didn't hear from her after that. So he probably said to her, look, Giselle, Look, bitch, get back in pocket. Like,
Yeah.
listen, in my world, you are Tom Brady's wife. Everywhere else, I'm Mr. Bunchen, but dude, like, you're in my world. You are Mrs. Tom Brady. You act like it.
Yep.
All right, MLB, your most surprising story of the season?
Again, I'm gonna be biased, but dude, like how bad the Cowboys did. It was like it's like we don't have like a team of retards. Like we have like a team that theoretically could win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In regards to Ezekiel Elliott, right? We have we're a little weak in the wide receivers. Obviously, Amari Cooper, and then
You got Gallup.
and I'm not a big fan.
He can catch.
He had a lot of drop passes towards the end of the year. Yeah. And I've seen interviews with him. He doesn't look like he's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. So I don't think he's that bright. But we have what's I think his name's Jarvin, our backup tight end. I think
Blake Jarwin.
Is it? Yeah, Blake Jarwin. He's really good too. So, but I just think there was this is just the epitome. This is like our team was like the blue pill alpha. It's like we have all the things to win, but it's just we botched it. It was so fucking bad. Like our defense is pretty decent, good. Our offense, we had the most yards in the NFL. So like clearly the numbers were there, but it's just like honestly, I've hated Jason Garrett for a long time, and I'm so glad he's gone. And that's just like, that just shows you like how important a head coach is, because you can have all the fucking talent in the world, but I just know I don't think Jason Garrett is a winner. I don't think he has like that Tom Brady edge. Like when Tom Brady gets mad at people and shouts at them on the sideline. When you see the infamous fight of Peyton Manning fighting with the defense, with like, we should run the ball. It's like, no, we fucking shouldn't run the ball. Aggressive edge. I don't think Jason Garrett has that at all. And we started off 3-0. Charlie would hear every day like, "Fuck you, Charlie. My Vikings are trash. Like, Cowboys go to the Super Bowl."
Well, listen, man.
The
first three games for the Cowboys were fool's gold. They beat the Redskins, the Dolphins, and I think the Giants. And everyone is like, "Oh, Dak Prescott is worth $45-50 million a year. The Carson Wentz contract is the floor." Listen, man, Dak Prescott is a very, very good quarterback, but the only team he is worth $30+ million a year to is the Dallas Cowboys. He's not getting that from anyone else, man. Listen, now on the flip side, Dak Prescott outplayed his contract. He absolutely positively deserves his money, right? Listen, I think that he should probably be in the $25 to $28 million per year range, but that's it. Like, listen, the Cowboys can pay him $37 million a season, but if they do that, they're done. They're done. You have an aging offensive line. You still have to pay Leighton Vander Esch if he comes back. You already paid Jalen Smith. DeMarcus Lawrence isn't living up to his contract. And you still got to sign Amari Cooper. You're not going to, who do you have to pay? Amari Cooper or Dak Prescott? You already paid Zeke Elliott.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting upcoming year. It's gonna really, there's a lot of pressure on McCarthy for this year. We have to make it to the playoffs, or there's gonna be some trouble.
There's a lot of quarterbacks on the market too. So
the NFC East. The NFC East was painful because it looked like nobody wanted to fucking win it. The Eagles and the Cowboys both had it for like 4 weeks, and nobody would win.
Yes.
John, what's your name for the NFC East this year? I love that one.
The fucking NFC least.
Oh yeah, the NFC least. Yeah, yeah. And when the NFC West was really, really bad, they called it the NFC worst, right? So it's just the NFC East was it was bad this year. Hey, listen, man. I can hang my hat on the fact that the Eagles have made the playoffs 3 straight years. And I don't know, hindsight is always 20/20, but I think that if we have Deshaun Jackson, I think it's a different season. Deshaun Jackson was a game changer. If we were down 17-0, MLD, I texted you. When we were down 17-0, I said, John, I'm not one bit worried about this football game. I said, we're good, man. Down 17-0, don't even sweat it, man. We're shaking off the rust. Sure enough, we came back and we blew him out.
That was against the Redskins, right?
Yeah, that was against the Redskins. Yeah, so again, that's just the rust. We're playing, it's in Landover, Maryland. You've got the home crowd and all that good stuff. But my biggest surprise is the fact that Nick Foles crashed and burned in Jacksonville. Dude, they still listen. Nick Foles is we call him in Philly, we call him Saint Nick. Man, Nick Foles beat the greatest quarterback in NFL history in a Super Bowl. He went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and won. And he got replaced in Jacksonville by something called Minshew. Like, what in the it is utterly surprising. Well, listen, MLD said it best. Coaching absolutely matters, man, because without good coaching, like a good player can only do so much for a coach. A good player can kind of a good player can save a coach's job. But imagine if Deshaun Watson played for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Imagine if Patrick Mahomes went to the Houston Texans. Mahomes is more talented than Watson, but Watson would be having a much better year because Andy Reid is clearly a better coach than Bill O'Brien. Coaching absolutely matters. So Nick Foles goes down there. He let dude. Frank Reich was our offensive coordinator. Doug Peterson was our head coach. So he goes from that. He goes to Jacksonville with the head coach Doug Marrone. He's got a pretty solid running game, and he can't really, he can't break the starting lineup. And oh, by the way, he got hurt in the opening game of the season, broke his clavicle in the opening game of the season, which was
to bolster that point though. Look how far, and I said this, I think it was the second or third show. The Cleveland Browns will only go as far as Freddie Kitchens take them.
Yep,
and they fucking crashed and burned. One of the most talented rosters in the NFL. They sucked ass.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Best case scenario for the Eagles, and I probably shouldn't say this, is that the Jacksonville Jaguars cut Nick Foles or they buy him out and we get him back here in Philly. That would be fucking awesome, because now whenever Wentz breaks the pocket, I don't have to hold my breath because I know we got a guy who can step in. I know we have a guy who can step in and sort of pick up where he left off. So let's talk about a couple of bigger stories here. Let's talk about the Antonio Brown thing. Antonio Brown, he just got out of under house arrest. He was under house arrest and all this other kind of stuff. His story is well documented. The $1 million question here is Antonio Brown ever going to play in the NFL again? If so, when? MLD, I'm going to start with you.
I don't know. That really upset me that he got let go from the Patriots. I got a heart for the guy. I know, like, he's a little. I think he's just such an alpha. I think he's just so fucking alpha mixed with a little bit of, like, a little thug ignorant side of him, and he got him to where he is now. He doesn't really know how to strategically shut his mouth and everything.
No, not really.
And I don't know. He played a great game with I think they played the Dolphins though, like the one game he played, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a great game, and it is the Dolphins. No offense, Miami J, but like fuck, that's tough to say, man. I would like to see him back. I would say, yeah, I would say so. Probably next year. If not next year, then the year after.
All right, area code 215 and 713. See you guys in the queue. I'm going to get you guys in a second. Charlie, does Antonio Brown play another down in the NFL? If so, when?
So I'm going to go straight to my answer, and then I'll tell you guys why. So my first answer here, which is different from when we had the show last time on this specific subject, is no. Oh. And the main reason why is because the NFL, they gave him a shit ton of chances, to be honest. And like, MLD said, he can't strategically shut his mouth when he needs to. And the one thing he did do was he said, I think he on Twitter multiple times threw Derek Carr, his previous quarterback, under the bus. And then, as soon as New Orleans gave him a chance, to look at him at the end of the season, he just said, that was a joke. And every chance that he's gotten since the Patriots let him go, in terms of, just a small chance, he's just throwing everybody that, gave him that chance in the NFL under the bus. So I think basically teams are going to think this, well, if he comes on our team and for some reason something doesn't work out, because obviously athletically, he's great. Yeah. So there's no doubt there. Yeah. But if he comes on our team, then if he leaves or gets, some sort of grievance against us, he's going to talk shit about us. It's going to look bad for our image. We don't want that PR. So I think that's the reason why he doesn't.
Okay, Miami J. Does Antonio
I think-
Brown play another down in the NFL again? If so, when?
He will at some point. I don't think it'll be next year. Quite honestly, I think we'll see Des Bryant back on the field before we see Antonio Brown. And the main reason I do,
hope not.
well, we'll see. But the
Well,
main
for
reason,
the Cowboys, go ahead.
I mean, Antonio Brown now has a black mark on him that I've never seen any other player have, and that is that
Right.
Bill Belichick couldn't rein this guy in.
Yeah.
And if Bill Belichick couldn't rein him in, why the hell am I going to take a shot on him?
Listen, he reined in Corey Dillon, right? He reined in Randy Moss.
Everybody that goes to the Patriots buys into the Patriot way or whatever the hell they call it. Antonio Brown's the only guy that crazy shit. I don't see Antonio Brown coming back next year. Maybe if he calms his ass down next year, somebody will give him a shot the year after that, or maybe mid-season. But I don't see it. It's really unfortunate. The guy was on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah,
But
I agree. Yeah, I think definitely if he stays with the Steelers, if he doesn't blow that situation up, definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. He has Hall of Fame talent. And if he makes it back to the NFL and has 3 more good years, he'll definitely be in the Hall of Fame. Antonio Brown absolutely plays next season, and I think he plays. I think what's going to happen is over the offseason, Antonio Brown is going to get his shit together. He's going to say all the right things. He's going to go to counseling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The NFL is going to conclude the investigation. Antonio Brown hasn't raped anybody. Antonio Brown has not sexually assaulted anybody. We all know how these things go, but somebody has to pay, right? And it's not only that; it's his conduct. That being said, I think Antonio Brown plays. I think Antonio Brown gets suspended for 8 games next season. I think he comes back. What is it? Week 9. I think he comes back week 9. And the reason I say this, he is way too talented not to. Like, Brown is in no position of leverage. Every team, you can say, well, the risk outweighs the reward. No, it doesn't. You don't have to guarantee him anything. You can bring him and be like, all right, Antonio, we all know what's going on. Dude, one fuck up and you're out of here. We're taking your money. Brown is going to be on his best behavior. The team I worry about is the team that signs Brown after he's on his best behavior. So whatever team takes him, he comes back, he plays weeks 9 through 17. He's on his best behavior. He puts up big numbers. Now he's a free agent again. And then some team is going to give him 3 years, $50 million. And then we're going to see this all over again. But I think Brown absolutely plays next season. Again, there are people in the NFL who have done far worse who have remained on the football field. Dante Stallworth killed somebody, right? He was allowed to play on the football field. Leonard drunk driving, killed somebody. Lawrence Phillips. Yes, we live in a different day and time.
Did Ray Rice kill someone too?
Say what?
Yeah.
Ray Rice killed somebody, then he won the Super Bowl, right?
No, he killed his reputation. You're talking about Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. That's what I meant.
Oh,
He's from the Ravens.
Yeah. Ray Lewis was arrested for murder right after Super Bowl 34 right there in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even charged. I think somebody came forward, whatever the case may be. But I'm very careful not to say, well, Ray Lewis killed somebody. Listen, I don't know what happened because I wasn't there. But yeah, you make a good point. Ray Lewis, we seen him in the orange jumpsuit, bruh. The very next year, he's winning Super Bowl 35, dominated probably on one of the greatest defenses we've ever seen.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's a little bit less of what he's done than the relationships that he's burned within the NFL.
Yeah. Now that I agree with. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's 914-205-5356. That's the number to call if you want to get it on the show. Let's go to area code 215. Area code 215, you're on live with Donovan, Charlie, MLB, and Miami J. Go ahead.
Hey guys, how are you? This is Extra Grok in the chat.
Oh, Extra Grok, what's up, man?
Football's my favorite topic.
Okay, what you got?
As soon as you had this the football day topic, I'm like, this is my favorite discussion. So I guess you guys were talking about Antonio Brown. So for what I think it just depends on what he does in the off season. If he cooperates with the NFL and conclude whatever disciplinary investigations they're doing, then he can get. I think he's supposed to go to exempt list as soon as he.
Oh yeah, commissioner's exempt list.
Yeah. So it all depends on because I think the guy is getting associated with the wrong crowd. I just saw the Aaron Hernandez Netflix, whatever documentary.
Oh yeah, that's crazy,
And
right?
he just got associated with the wrong people. I mean, I think that's what's happening with that guy. I mean, it has loads of talent, but getting associated with the wrong crowd, and it's like,
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Extra Guac. I disagree with the whole with the wrong crowd thing. Antonio Brown is his own worst enemy. No one around him is pushing him into doing the wrong things. Oh no, he is absolutely doing all of this on his own. Before we go to area code 713 in the queue, the Neg one with the $9.99 super chat says supporting the Sharpe stream. Maybe the Eagles will get a shot next season, just like last season. Seriously, continue the good work. Continue the good work done and keep maxing that bandwidth. Just watched your last stream. Yep, of course. I have launched my own streaming platform. It is called Sharpe Stream. And that is, that's where I take all of my hard hitting content. So I'll use YouTube to sort of funnel in, other viewers, which is what everybody does. Anyway, we welcome in Xanatos Clutch, who has made an appearance. Xanatos Clutch is in DC. XC, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's good? Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Dude, I was just gonna ask you, like, where's this guy? I'm so glad he's here.
Hey, I'm in Pacific Standard Time, so it's like, yeah.
Did you choose Xanatos from the bad guy from the Gargoyles? Animated?
Well, so this channel is supposed to be like a gaming channel, and Xanatos means like death clutch, and I pick in yes, in a sense. So that's what this channel was supposed to be, but in a short summary, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, let's go back to the phone lines. 914-205-5356. Let us go back to area code 713. Area code 713, you're on live. Go ahead.
What's going on, fellas? It's Ray Brownsville out of Houston, man.
Hey, Ray, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good. Hey, man, I just wanted to clear the air on a couple things, couple points you guys made that were absolutely false. One, Deshaun Watson is a much more superior quarterback than Mahomes, man. Period, point blank. If Kansas City lost Mahomes from an injury, they'd have probably still won 8 games. But since we drafted Watson, we have not won a single game without him. And under the circumstances of our horrible coach, he still finds and manages a way to win games. So you can't compare the two, man.
Sure.
Number two.
Hold on, man. I can't let you.
Fight.
No, wait. No, hold on. Here's the thing. Now, I will agree with him here. Listen. Patrick Mahomes to me is a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, but the disparity is not as wide as one might think. Right? Everyone thinks that Mahomes is the best quarterback, and it's not close. No, I think Watson is closer than most. But Mahomes has the better arm. I think he reads defenses better. Yes, listen, Patrick Mahomes definitely. Now, coach-wise, Bill O'Brien is not the coach that Andy Reid is. And I actually just talked about this, Ray. If you swap these two teams, then I think that Deshaun Watson would be having the better. I think he wouldn't necessarily be having Patrick Mahomes' career, but he would have a much better career than he is having now. So I will give you that, but we'll just have to agree to disagree that Mahomes is better than Watson.
No doubt. Yeah, and second point, Cowboys fans, let it go, man. Y'all are never going to win another Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
Let it go.
Hang up on this fool.
Oh, I love it. So why do you think the Cowboys are never going to win a Super Bowl?
Well, it's obvious. Jerry Jones is the owner and GM.
Yeah,
He needs to let go of that position.
Man.
I agree with
He's
him.
going to be the only alpha male, period.
I
There's never
agree.
going to be another alpha male there.
Yeah. And thanks for the call, Ray. Listen, Ray actually came with a good, strong opinion. I think the Washington Redskins they're in that same position. I think the Redskins and Daniel Snyder, he's a young guy, unfortunately for Redskins fans. But as long as Snyder's around, the Redskins aren't winning. As long as Jerry Jones is around, I don't think the Cowboys are winning. What do you think about that, MLD? I mean, do you agree, disagree?
Oh, yeah, Charlie knows. Dude, Charlie has a backlog of my hate text messages about fucking Jerry Jones.
I'll let you spew it out. Yeah, go for it.
Dude, I hate that senile old fucker because he's such a control freak. You just you're a GM. You never did anything other than put a good coach there who assembled the pieces. And Jimmy Johnson, if you watch the old documentaries and stuff, Jimmy Johnson was not like, I'm not here to be your friend. Like, you fucking execute. You get this shit done. And Jimmy Johnson, in true fashion, he won a Super Bowl. And then, that's when all the jealousy and shit happened with Jerry Jones, because he can't have anybody else in the spotlight. He can't everybody. I don't know if you've ever dealt with a high level businessman, but they're really, like, if you've met like a multimillionaire or billionaire, they're extremely controlling and extremely maniacal, and they don't not like being in control. And that's what Jerry Jones is. So yeah, Jerry Jones needs to, like, get out of the fucking way of the coaches, quite honestly, because at the end of the day, like, you're a businessman. You're not a fucking football expert. Like, you made the Dallas Cowboys the most valuable franchise because you're a good businessman. But at the end of the day, what is the purpose of having a football team? It's like, it's winning the fucking Super Bowl. That's the only thing. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many fucking jerseys you sell. I don't care how many yards you have. I don't care how many MVP you have. If you're not winning the Super Bowl, then fuck you. That's the end of the thing. and so that's the end all be all. You got to fucking win the Super Bowl. And you're not a fucking head coach. So you got to get out of the way. That's what I was telling Charlie all year. I said, Jason Garrett was a big problem. Jason Garrett's gone. Now I need Jerry Jones to die. And then fucking the Cowboys can win a Super Bowl.
Listen, shout out to Rollo Tomasi, who's in the chat. I'm actually going to do something here. I've got the fantasy football standings up, the final standings. But he said the same shit happened with the Niners GM. Listen, this is, and Rollo's out on the West Coast. He lives out in Reno. This is why he knows about this stuff. This is what happened between Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh. And they couldn't see eye to eye. Then there was Jed York. He was the faulty GM. I mean, that situation imploded. The 49ers went from a perennial Super Bowl caliber squad to nothing, and now they're back here in the Super Bowl. It's amazing how quickly they've actually come back from this. Because you remember Jim Harbaugh, nobody had an answer for Colin. Well, actually, there was an answer for Colin Kaepernick. It was called fake-ass pro-blacks. That was really the only. You know what? There was an answer for Colin Kaepernick. Her name was Brissa Diab. But I digress. But, dude, Colin Kaepernick and that 49ers offense, they were unstoppable. They ran through the league. They should have won Super Bowl 47, but of course somebody turned out the lights, and the rest is history there. But that's the same thing that happened. I agree with you, MLD. Jason Garrett is a bad head coach. He's going to be a really, really good offensive coordinator. Watch out, because he's with the Giants, man. He doesn't have to worry about all the things that he has to worry about as a head coach. All he needs to worry about is getting the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands and into the hands of Saquon Barkley. That's a talented young team, man. Don't get it twisted.
Yep.
Okay.
Xanthus, I think you're echoing, bud.
Who?
Clutch is echoing.
Really?
Oh, we getting some feedback?
Yeah, just a little bit. You got no headphones, buddy.
Oh, it's because he doesn't have the headphones. Okay, all right, we'll get that worked out. Okay, so the standings in the fantasy football, it was won by Edward Tran, 92 Honda Accord. He beat me in the final game by the score of 124.3 to 123.1. He beat me by 1.2 points thanks to a late touchdown reception by one DK Metcalf. That is what beat me. 1.2 points. I would have had my now fifth career fantasy football title. So the standings were: he was first. I finished in second with a record of 10-5. Rollo Tomasi finished in third with 10-5. Miami J 9-6. Whack Lives Matter. The lead singer for the Failsafe, the guy who did the remix for the TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe remix. Flint Lightning finished after that. Ricky from Sales. Miami Savage Vikings, which was very interesting. SCEL's Mud Dogs they finished 8-7. Atlanta UAB finished 1-14. I guess he stopped trying. 1.5. Armed Men, who won last year's title, finished 3-12, and of course Pug Dad finished at 6-9. So I almost captured the title. Man, he beat me by 1.2 points, and he didn't realize it until like 2 days later because he thought.
Are you playing the Yahoo one? Is that the Yahoo's fantasy?
No, we play ESPN. ESPN.
Okay, cool.
Hey, you should join us. You should join us next season.
Nah, no. I would get angry enough throughout the year.
Okay, so all right, so let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 404, and area code 404. Before you tell us what you're going to call about, who is your winner and why? Who wins today's Super Bowl and by what score and why do you think?
All right, man. Oh, what's up, Miami J? You know what it is, baby. But here's where I am on that, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that Patrick Mahomes and his homeboys are gonna take it now. Gotta be real with you.
Yeah.
Just being honest, man. And I'm not a fan of either team. I'm just looking at it objectively.
Sure. I agree with you, man.
So,
I'm going to go ahead and listen. I'm going to go ahead and let everyone know I'm predicting a blowout. I think the Kansas City Chiefs run away with this thing. I think it's 42-10 Kansas City. That's what I think. I think that they are going to absolutely. This is going to be Super Bowl all over again. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Hey, just a bit of breaking news here. Bleacher Report's reporting that the Dallas Cowboys are expected to tag Dak Prescott, franchise tag him.
Oh, they're going to franchise tag him. Very, very smart. So what a franchise tag is, for those of you who are watching and listening, when you are franchised, you are guaranteed a 1-year salary that is the average of the top 5 players at your position. So what is the franchise tag? What is it, like $28 million? Let me look at that quarterback franchise.
I don't know, but he doesn't deserve 30. That's for sure. He pissed me off at the end of the year.
Well, I want to actually, damn, dude, I was going to talk about Antonio Brown, but I got to say a few things about Dak Prescott. He is a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
He stepped into a very good situation with a very good offensive line that was meant for the quarterback that went down, whose place he took.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be very real with you. If he's not behind a Pro Bowl caliber offensive line, prepare to see him struggle.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. He's just not that guy. He's not like a Dan Marino type where he's going to get rid of the ball instant before he's hit. He needs somebody. He needs time. And if he has to use his legs, I don't see him making it halfway through the season, quite frankly.
I agree. I feel like he's like a lesser Cam Newton to an extent, but once I start, because towards the end of the season, you probably noticed this. He started, like, the plays started falling apart, and he started relying on his athleticism a lot more, and he was taking some hits that he shouldn't be taking, and pushing a little bit too hard in games that were already lost. Like, there was no point. I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't see him lasting, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm worried about injuries.
Well, I don't. Dak Prescott, and of course, listen, maybe you guys think that, but the reason why I have definitely noticed that Dak Prescott has played every game in his career is because our starting quarterback has a lot of problems staying on the field. That's one comparison that they draw between who's the better quarterback, Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz. Well, leadership, check goes to Dak Prescott. Availability, check mark Dak Prescott. But talent, Wentz. Arm, Wentz. Mobility, Wentz. Wentz is bigger, faster, stronger. He reads defenses, all that other kind of stuff. Can he stay on the field? Say whatever you want about Dak Prescott. He's never hurt. Even in the Eagles game, he was hurt. He still played. So I don't know. Maybe he gets hurt. Maybe he doesn't. But he hasn't given me any reason to believe that he is an injury risk. And so the franchise tender for quarterbacks in 2020 is $26.8 million. So Dak Prescott, I think he's making like $2.5 million this season. And I think we can all admit that Dak Prescott he was underpaid this season, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, he's not he's a good quarterback. He is a franchise level quarterback. Will he win a Super Bowl? I don't know. Listen, if Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, if Brad Johnson can win a Super Bowl, then I suppose a guy like Prescott can, because he's better than both of those guys. He's not going to light the world on fire. That being said, he should not have been on the field for $2.5 million. No fucking way.
He was a bargain quarterback for sure, and
it was
for what they were paying, what he was doing. But I don't think he's $30 million at all. No,
Clutch. What are your thoughts on this? I haven't heard your opinion on Prescott. What is your opinion on Dak Prescott? How much is he worth as a quarterback?
Yeah, we discussed this in one of the earlier shows of the season, but yeah, as far as this season is concerned, yeah, you can say he's earned the franchise tag from performance of this season. But hold on. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine, man.
All right, cool. But yeah, as far as the overall career performance, I mean, yeah, I completely agree when you all state that he is not worth that much money. But to be fair, well, I can't even say he has the talent. He has the offensive line. He has the receivers. So, and the best they can do is 8-8, 9-7, 7-9, and what, maybe win the wild card. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, look, future performance, past performance, something like that, that always isn't correlated. So, yes, he may have had one good season, but can he do that again?
He probably can. Remember, he finished 8-8, and listen, man, let's just call this what this is, man. You can't have an objective discussion between Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz. Number one, because Dallas and Philadelphia fans are going to pick their guy. Number two, unless you are a fan of the Cowboys or the Eagles, this is drawn along racial lines, right? Mm-hmm. Like we just heard a caller, Ray Bresolero, says that Deshaun Watson is better than Patrick Mahomes. Even he knows that that's not correct. The reason why he picks Deshaun Watson is because, and by the way, Patrick Mahomes is a biracial quarterback. Black father, white mother, right? So if you ask the African American community who's a better quarterback, you may as well ask them who you like more. Well, Deshaun Watson's the better quarterback. They don't have any reason why, because what they're doing is they're watching this. They look at the score, but they're not watching the game. All these people who came out and said, okay, Dak Prescott's better than Carson Wentz, a lot of that was because of race. Like, we all forget about 2017 when Wentz was absolutely the MVP before he goes down. But might I remind you, the Philadelphia Eagles gave $109.5 million guaranteed to Carson Wentz, and he was not the Super Bowl MVP on his team. There's another guy who plays in Dallas who's played every game. The talent is there, and it's obvious, but I think that people use race and, of course, their fandom to sort of cloud their judgment. If you're a fan, this is just like Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a draw. Yeah. Most black people's like, Deontay Wilder won that fight. No, he didn't. And I understand why you would say that, because we root for the people that we identify the most with.
Me too.
African-American male. He is from Alabama. Team USA, team black man, blah, 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 blah. But if your argument is, well, they gave Tyson Fury more than 10 seconds to stand up in the 12th round, then you know your fighter did not win that fight. So we're going to see what happens here on February 22nd.
Also, with Dak and Carson, neither have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I was saying that piss you off, but it didn't work.
You know, it's interesting. Hold on. You said Dak and Wentz have never won a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Yeah. How many Super Bowl rings does Dak Prescott have? How many Super Bowl rings does Carson?
Listen, he didn't win it. You got that's like what? That's like Jeremy Lin. Like, oh, Jeremy Lin won a Super Bowl or sitting on the bench.
And David Carr 2 Super Bowl rings. Come on,
honey, look at this thing I got for sitting on the bench. Like, come on.
It's funny. Devin is like, well, Carson Wentz does have a Super Bowl. I'm like, Devin, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He got a ring. I'm like, dude, honestly. He wasn't on the field when does Carson Wentz have a Super Bowl ring? Absolutely. But so did the receptionist, so does the janitor, so did the security guard, so did the dog vendors. Yeah. Everybody in the organization gets a Super Bowl ring. You better believe. Yeah.
The secretary gets one?
Secretary?
They get the participation trophy.
Dude, janitor gets one? I would just go around like trying to be a janitor for like trying to predict the winning team.
I'm trying to pick one team. Be like the right guy. Dude, be the guy that scrubs the shit out of the toilet. Be the guy that covers up all the players' side chicks and keep their wives away from the side chicks. Your ass is getting a ring, homie. Straight up.
Dude, I would do that job. The hoe wrangler? That would be great.
Here we go. I'm going to take a couple of odds here. The first one is by Rolo Tomasi. He says, how many thoughts has Jimmy Garoppolo banged since he got to Miami? I'm putting the over under at 10, and I'm taking the over. Miami.
Well, the well over 15.
Oh, dude, easy. Probably he's probably banging multiple at the same time. Charlie.
Oh yeah.
I'd go with above 10. I mean, he's going to do as much as he can. He's got to focus on, media day and all that. But whenever he has time off, I'm sure he's enjoying the scene in Miami down there.
Dude, bitches are throwing the pussy at Jimmy G. Dude, if I were a girl, I would totally bang Jimmy G. That's how good he looks. MLD, what say you?
How long has he been there?
Monday? This is the 6th day there.
6 days. I would say 6 days, 2 girls a day. Yeah, about 12, give or take.
Now, keep in mind, this is Miami, number one. Number two, just because you have sex one time doesn't mean there's only one girl there, right? Like, take that into account, right?
Yeah, I'm on the Fidel Castro schedule, like one new girl in the morning, one new girl at lunch.
Yeah, Yeah, Jimmy G has them for lunch. He has them for snack. Then he has the protein shake, juice. You know, he kind of does it that way. The spread is only 1.5. 1.5. The Kansas City Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites for the Super Bowls. Oh, that's William Hill. William Hill is of course, they talk about that stuff all the time. Rollo Tomasi also talks about something, and I actually had this on my list, but let's go ahead and talk about it now. We are in a gender war, and Katie Sowers is gonna be the story because Katie Sowers is an offensive assistant for the San Francisco 49ers. She is a pioneer. So here's the $1 million question: will we ever see a female head coach in the NFL? Miami J, you first.
Yeah, I think we will. Especially with all this stuff they're doing now, like revamping the racial interview rules. You bet your ass feminists are going to put. But yeah, I think we will probably within the next 5 to 10 years, and she'll probably be the first one.
Okay, all right. John, what you say?
Yeah, we definitely will see a woman head coach in the NFL within the next 5 to 10 years for sure, but we will never see a woman head coach win the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Charlie, what say you?
Yeah, I was going to say this something similar with, how successful would they be? I mean, thinking about, men leading men and all of that, how many guys are going to, give their all and basically go to war for somebody who they can't quite relate to 100%. Right.
Yep.
That being said, I forgot the name of that lady, but there's that one lady trying out for a punter role or a kicker role or something from the women's soccer team, something like that.
Yeah, that was Wambach thing. I think it was actually here in Philly. She kicked the 55-yard field goal, but she took like a 9-step. It was like a 9-step approach. Dude,
I would love to see it. I would pay money to see her eat shit every fucking special teams play.
And I'm trying to.
Yeah. So all in all, we got more of them, coming in, and I think like you said, the 49ers have the first woman on a coaching staff as well. So
progressive city, it is San Francisco.
Think about that. Check this out. When we do have that female kicker, at some point she's gonna have a kickoff. The guy's gonna start returning it. She's gonna try to tackle that motherfucker to prove something.
She's gonna get hurt.
Decked out.
Hurt.
Yep.
Listen, I agree. I think if there ever is a female, whoever the first female is, because it's going to happen, there is going to be a woman who plays in the NFL at some point. It's going to be very short. The worst thing they can do, if they're going to put a woman in as a kicker, she has to be a place kicker. She can't be a punter because if you're a punter, you can get hit. She can't do kickoffs because when you kick off, you can get hit, right? The only way she is guaranteed to not get hit, well, not even guaranteed, because let's say the field goal gets blocked, what's the first thing players do when a quarterback throws an interception? He looks for the quarterback to lay him the fuck out. Think that these dudes will not try to make an example out of her. Oh my God.
Don, I'm going to send you something. We'll talk about women who I'll send it to you, but my bad, but it's football related.
Okay. Area code 407. I see you in the queue. I'm going to get you in a second. I do agree. I think that we are going to get there is going to be a female head coach in the NFL at some point. I agree with Miami J's timetable. I think it's within the next 5 or 10 years. She will be both the first and the last. It's not, like this is what we have to understand, guys, is that these women aren't doing this because they really love football. They're doing it because men do it. The only reason why Katie Sowers loves football is because men play football. The only reason why Danica Patrick wants to go auto racing is because the boys do it. If auto racing was nothing but females, Danica Patrick would have no interest in it, right? There are women who play fantasy football, and they're always in fantasy football leagues with other guys. If there was ever an all-female fantasy football league, females aren't interested in that because guys aren't doing it. So a woman will be a head coach in the NFL at some point. It will be very short. It will be, oh my God, it's going to be one giant shit show, man. It's going to be one giant shit show.
Actually, a quick little story for you. I had an ex-girlfriend in Arizona like 4 or 5 years ago, and she was in an all-female fantasy football league. It was like 6 girls playing in the league. It was pathetic.
Oh, God.
But then at the end of the year, they had a little party for, whatever. And I went, and the other girls all brought their boyfriends, and all the guys, we all start talking. It turned out we ran all their teams. They didn't do shit.
Yeah, I mentioned in the private chat there was this one lady recently who I think it was one of the ex guys on The Bachelor, his girlfriend. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got the story up now. Yeah, they won $1 million and they cheated.
Yeah, exactly. She's just like, she just followed what he did, and he just told her everything what to do, and they just took the money, and then they didn't get it.
Let's go back to the phone lines. We got a treat. We got Rollo Tomasi. Rollo Tomasi, the godfather of the Manosphere, is in the house. Rollo, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh man, you guys started talking about Katie Sowers, and I was like, oh man, I gotta call her now.
What's your opinion on this?
Well, first off, my prediction is this: I think the Niners are going to win, but I'm going to like really give you something to talk about here in just a second. But I'm thinking Niners are going to be on top by 6. I know that the spread is like so damn close. Like I don't think anybody would even, if you got your bets in early, then you probably will make some money. But like,
yeah, that's
so
true.
Close, probably nobody's even going to bet on this game. So. And then here's the other thing: is Niners have all their weapons right now. They have everybody's healthy. Kittle's back. Breida's back. Jimmy G's, of course, there. Sherman is there. Sherman's ready. Like you want to know who's going to win the game for him? It's going to be Sherman. Yeah. And so, my only thing is this: just from a game perspective, I think that if KC can shut down the Niners running game, then it's going to be all on Jimmy's back to like be accurate. And Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback.
I agree.
But he's not like a great quarterback. He's not like MVP caliber. He's not like Steve Young. He's not like the return of Steve Young, which everybody keeps thinking that he is. And I mean, he's good. He's better than Kaepernick. He's way more accurate than Kaepernick. He's way more accurate than that other guy that was up before him that took over when he like got his leg broke or whatever. But here's the thing: is like, is he great? Is he like a Super Bowl caliber quarterback? And I'm saying no right now. He could be.
Sure, he's still young.
A few more seasons. I mean, this is really his. And then, like, remember.
Here I was.
Go ahead.
Oh, he was gonna be the replacement for Pretty Boy Brady. Man, he was supposed to be the fallback for them, and they traded him away. And he's good. I mean, again, he's good, but he's not Brady caliber. He's not Aaron Rodgers caliber, but maybe he could be. And I think this will be a real test for him to see if they can actually pass the ball, because really the reason for their record this season is not so much. I mean, Jimmy's good. Don't get me wrong, but like it's the running game, it's the defense. The team is fantastic,
right?
And Jimmy's just a part of that team right now, and I would like to see him shine. It would be great if he did. And I think KC is all they've been studying for the last 2 weeks is like how to shut down the running game.
Jesus Christ! So, listen, they're going to have to.
I think that's probably going to happen.
And I'll tell you this too, Rollo. Listen, this team that Jimmy Garoppolo has is very reminiscent of the 01 Patriots. Listen, Brady's the greatest quarterback ever, but a lot of people forget that Brady was just along for the ride in Super Bowl 36. That defense won Super Bowl 36 when they shut down the greatest show on turf. Brady had to make 2 plays, and those are the last two. Those are the last 2 throws in the fourth quarter. Vinatieri comes on and he kicks the game-winning field goal. But Brady was Jimmy. Dude, Jimmy is Tom Brady 20 years ago. Like the team carried Tom Brady. Of course, Tom Brady gets better and better. So Jimmy G's in sort of that same position now.
All right, now I'm going to fuck up your brain here. Okay. Here we go.
Let's do it.
49ers are going to win because Katie Sowers is on the team.
God. Oh, Rollo. Oh, my fucking
They're going to win because
that's what's going to happen.
Rig, okay?
Oh, wow.
Every Super Bowl since 2001 has been rigged, okay? Look at people are going to throw rocks at me for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. 2001. What happened? What horrible thing happened to the United States?
9/11, baby.
9/11.
Yeah.
Right. Who won the Super Bowl in 2002?
Patriots.
The Patriots. Yes.
Okay. Hurricane Katrina, 2005. Who won the Super Bowl in 2006?
God damn, this is fucking creepy.
New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl that year. Guess what else happened? Remember, you have to remember this because I know you were in Northern Nevada when this happened. Do you remember when Chucky ended up leaving the Oakland Raiders
Yes.
to go or Gruden. When
Yes.
John Gruden left the Raiders, who did he go to? He went to the last place Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my
Who went
God.
to the Super Bowl that year?
Unbelievable. The Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Bucks
Yep.
and Oakland Raiders. And who won that game?
It was the Buccaneers.
John Gruden's Tampa Bay Bucks. That's who won that game. And so you got and so like whenever there is a social or a public narrative, when there's like a Cinderella story to be had in like the United States, because I mean it's American football, right?
Sure,
so
of course.
Whatever has happened in the United States, the team that wins is the one that's supposed to win. Right.
Oh,
That's
man.
the one that's supposed to be like, if you go and you look, and here's the thing, remember this, remember when the Patriots had the perfect season? They were like 17-0.
Yeah, they were 18-0.
Took it away from them.
That's right.
Who took it away from
It was the
them?
Giants.
Everybody thought they had made commercials and everything because they thought that they were going to be the next team besides the Miami Dolphins to ever have a perfect season.
He's making too much sense
New York
here,
Giants
man.
came in, took it away from them. Yeah.
So what
I'm telling you,
happened?
man, it's rigged.
Yeah,
You can bet on it.
that part wasn't.
Why are they
The
going
part.
Listen, check this out.
Why are they going to win?
The media is going to tell us if the Niners win this football game and they have a good offensive output, you better believe, dude, Kyle Shanahan is definitely going to get his praise, but they're going to say Katie Sowers is the first female coach
Katie
to ever
Sowers
win a
was the
Super
reason
Bowl.
They won. Yeah.
Ay.
See, we need a female president. We need
Oh,
a
my
woman in
God.
the White House because women can win Super Bowls. I guarantee you.
I'm
that.
getting depressed listening.
Oh,
to
you
this.
fucked up my-
too.
I know.
You fucked up my
Here's
brain.
the other thing is, what was that other? Oh, remember when Colin Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl and they lost? And
Yes.
Who did they lose to? They lost to
The
the Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
Who was retiring?
Ray
Who was
Lewis.
retiring that
Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, that's right. He
Here's
had
another
to
thing,
give
the
one
lights
more
went
ring
out.
before he went out the door.
Remember
I'm
the
telling you,
Niners.
that's
The
the
Niners had a
narrative.
3-touchdown lead, right? The Niners were running away with it. All of a sudden, the lights go out in the Superdome. When they come back
All
on,
right, so I want you.
Oh God!
How did that affect the game, though?
I want you to save this live stream because I'm saying it right now.
You heard it here first.
Will throw Katie Sowers in your face.
Rolo, I'll take you up on that, Rolo, and I'll make you a bet. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win, and the loser has to wear a beanie on the next Rule 0.
Well, I think that he's probably going to wear one anyway, right?
Oh, he switched it off to the hat.
Hashtag I stand with Rolo. That was actually pretty funny. He makes a very, very, very good point. Now, John, you just asked a question. You asked how did the lights going out? How did that affect the game?
Yeah, I was in Tokyo when that happened, but I was really drunk at that time.
I think it was a momentum thing is what it was. The 49ers were rolling, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but the Niners were running away with Super Bowl 47. The lights go out. The Niners are actually getting ready to score. The lights go out. They had to settle for a field goal, and then it was all Ravens after that. It stopped. This is the same reason why, along the same lines, as when a kicker is lining up for a field goal, the coach calls the timeout. He calls the timeout to stop the momentum, to make the kicker think about it. Because if the kicker just runs out and he's allowed to just kick the field goal, the coach doesn't want that. No, timeout. I want you to think about the fact that you are about to kick the game-winning field goal in whatever Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna put something. I'm gonna put something on the screen.
That's pretty woke, though. That's pretty smart.
Well, I mean, I'm a sports guy. That's kind of how that works. So what?
No, I just made the prediction with the Katie thing. That's
I 100% agree, and I think that hang on a second, I want to make sure I pause this. Give me one second. All right, so what I'm sharing on the screen, guys, this thing has got like 50,000. I don't know why, for whatever reason, it's not. Oh, here we go. So this is a man going up against a woman. Apparently, they're laying down. And they're going to get up. They're going to see who can get up the fastest and who's going to win this clash. I want you guys to watch. So they're both getting up. You see the guy in the middle on the upper part of your screen. They get up. Boom!
Clean hit.
Unbelievable. Dude, he absolutely obliterated. Is there any way I can watch it again? No? All right, let me stop. Let me stop sharing the screen. Yeah, so hang on a second. There we go. So right off the bat, and I just I put that up there because MLD sent it to me. I think that's pretty indicative. But yeah, this whole anything you can do, I can do better. Rolo's 100% right, man. Mm-hmm. It is if if the 49ers win this football game and they have a good offensive output, dude, it's going to be Katie Sowers in our face, man.
God, you're so right. And these fucking San Francisco people, they just
Damn you, Rolo!
Hey, so I just moved from Salt Lake City to the Bay Area, and let me tell you guys about San Francisco and just all this stuff. You
RIP
all,
your rent.
well, hey, I'm actually, I'm not going to say where I am in the Bay Area, quote unquote, but it's not as bad. I have my own place, but that's only because my pay went up like 50% to move out here from Salt Lake City.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh yeah, trust me, it's nice, but it isn't nice. And you know, I would be so ecstatic as someone who grew up as a Niners fan that of this day, you know, I'd be like jumping for joy and wearing my Niners gear and wearing my Frank Gore jersey, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I got to be honest. The reason why I'm not today is because after 7 months of being in the Bay Area with all this SJW progressive far leftist
there, man.
Oh, don't get me started. That in between that and the poop in the streets and
have you seen poop in the streets?
Oh, dude, I'll be honest. I've seen less poop in the streets in Oakland than I have in San Francisco.
I thought it was a rumor. Oh my god!
People actually poop in the streets in San Fran?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's out of that dude. That's out of this world, man. I didn't think that was real.
And that's coming from a man who lives in Philadelphia.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, Philly is not exactly the cleanest city, but
yeah, I know.
Right.
Holy shit, man.
We had that one fan eating horse shit at the end of the last Super Bowl, didn't you? In Philly.
I didn't think it was real. Holy shit. Wow.
And what all the Red Pill guys, you guys have said about San Franciscan women, and like, you know what? I mean, here's just a sidetrack, just get more of a Red Pill conversation going. I get it. I get why San Francisco dudes in San Francisco are gonna bitch about the women here, because obviously what you got, the SJW white chicks, obviously they're just like, Hispanic, black, it's what it, we aren't going to talk about well, the Indians are saving grace. Indian chicks, believe it or not, but the Asian chicks, dude, they hate black men, especially out here. I'm not sure.
Really?
Dude. Well, let's just say this. There's a reason why I'm sort of becoming just a general fan of football in lieu of a Niners fan. Trust me, it isn't that open-minded out here. It isn't that liberal and progressive out here. I'm just going to say that.
Gee.
Salt Lake City, to me, as a black man, has been less racist than the Bay Area.
Whoa, wait, what? Hold up. Salt Lake City, Utah, right? And Salt Lake City has kind of a reputation like Boston. Their sports fans like to call players the N-word, right? It's like 99. And as a matter of fact, when you left Salt Lake City, Xanatos Clutch, you were one of 5 black people, I think, in the state. Accurate or not, but so you mean to tell me that Salt Lake City, Utah, was less racist than San Francisco, which is social justice warriors headquarters?
Dude, let me tell you something. Between San Francisco, the peninsula, if you aren't white or some Asian female who worships white men, forget about it. Forget about it.
Wow, unbelievable, man.
Oakland, it's mixed, but if you're black, you got to fit into a certain image. You got to be I hate to say this, for lack of a better term, you got to be a Baby Kid or a Pookie and Ray Ray.
Of course.
Or Shaniqua to fit in there. Otherwise, people are going to look at you like, what the heck? And then San Jose, it's not much. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's the most palpable part of the Bay Area, but it has its own, how should I say this? Its own provincial problems. If you didn't grow up there, people are going to be like, what are you doing here? So it's hard to meet people unless you grew up there.
Speaking of black men not fitting the hood nigga, Russell Wilson is on the screen. He has just announced his second baby with Sierra, thereby cementing herself on the Russell Wilson gravy train. Say what you want about Sierra. She played the game exactly the right way. She did what she was absolutely supposed to do. Let's go to the phone lines. Area code 917. Again, area code 917. You are on live. You go ahead.
Good day, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm just calling, and I'm sorry to seem as though like I'm not coinciding on what you just said, but I'm just calling as a fan of your radio show and what you've been doing, and I've been following you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I strongly encourage a brother like you. I live in Newark, New Jersey right now. I'm on my way to work. I listen to all your blogs, your YouTubes. I listen to you. I follow you on Instagram. I think what you're doing is phenomenal. You're doing a super great job. And everything that you've said thus far, is on point. A lot of these women, from superstars to regular women to uptown women, downtown women, you've been doing a great job, and I encourage you, keep on doing the works, man. Keep on spreading the gospel truth.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
He sounds like he's from Trinidad.
Well, yeah, he's from Newark, New Jersey, which is Newark, New Jersey is just across the river. It's basically New York City, right? It's about I don't know. It's I live here in Philadelphia, but Newark is, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. I thought that guy was a troll because normally when guys call me up, Donovan, you're the greatest, you're the best. It's usually. Did
he hang up?
No, I hung up on him.
Oh shoot! I was gonna ask if he's from Trinidad. Okay.
Oh no. I mean, I'm dude. My phone lines are so. I try to get people in and out as quickly as possible. So I was wrong. I thought that guy was going to be a troll, but apparently he wasn't. So big thanks goes out to SmartRN1 with the $4 super chat. Says, if it's not the Cowboys, I don't give a fuck. Guys, appreciate that. We're going to go to our last phone call of the day because I have a webinar that I have to do at 2:00 with my $55 patrons. Let's go to area code 973. 973, you're on live with the crew. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up? It's Greg from New
Greg,
Jersey,
what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, good. You were talking about Newark. Don't talk about Newark. I'm actually 10 minutes away from that.
Oh, no shit.
10 minutes away from Newark, man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, man. So shit. Look, I'm a black dude. You get treated like shit in Newark, so especially by the black women. Fuck the police, but you get that same shit with all those kinds of women. But I got treated much better in Tarrytown and Schenectady, which is upstate New York, than I ever did when I lived in Flatbush. It's weird how they treat you like differently in New York City and how they treat you here in New Jersey. It's a bit different. But if you hold yourself up to a frame and you hold yourself up to some masculine kind of, that kind of masculine thing, they won't treat you. They'll treat you differently. It depends on the town, though. But that's all I had to say.
All right. Well, thanks to shout out to Greg calling in. Appreciate that. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and do our Super Bowl predictions. I've already let the cat out of the bag on what my prediction is. I think it's going to be a blowout. And I don't think it's going to start off that way. I think the first quarter is going to be like the first round of a prize fight. You don't really see too much action. Both fighters are kind of feeling each other out. Okay, is his jab strong? Is he going to try to go to the body first? Where is he investing? Is he going to try to cut off the ring? Strategies like that. Then I think from the second quarter on, I think that the Chiefs score 2 touchdowns in the second, third, and fourth quarter. It's going to be 42-10 Kansas City. This game is over at the end of the third quarter. Miami J, what say you?
I'm along the same lines as you are. I think it's going to be a blowout. First, let me say I'm a big sports gambler, and I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I don't give a damn what the hell the storyline is. I think the Chiefs actually are going to start rolling from the very, very beginning. I don't see them slowing down at all.
Okay, and they have Travis Kelce, who is every black woman's desire. Listen, Travis Kelce, by the way, that dude loves black women.
Like, you mean Jason Kelce?
No, not Jason Kelce. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce loves. Google any picture of Travis Kelce. Nothing but sisters, bruh. Like Travis.
He got a black girl with him every time.
Travis Kelce loves black women. So, dude, he did a reality show where it was a bunch of girls. It was like 30 girls trying to date.
It was like The Bachelor.
They were all black. Yeah, they did a Bachelor Travis Kelce style. They were all black. And Travis Kelce.
I remember I watched that shit. So at the very end, he had to pick between this Midwestern girl. Actually, she was from Kansas City.
No shit.
She was blonde. She was beautiful. like from a good family, no tattoo, perfect fucking girl, and he had this hood rat bitch.
Yo, look at this. Listen, all I did was did a Google search for Travis Kelce. Girl, look, I'm going to share my screen. Check this out, y'all. I know we're getting off track here, but this is why I love Travis Kelce. This is why I love this dude, man. Because this dude, he fucks nothing but black chicks. Look, this is Travis Kelce right here. Look, it ain't nothing. Look, it ain't nothing but sisters. It ain't nothing. Look, it's got a big booty bitch right there. Yeah.
Oh
Hey. Listen, I am not mad. I am not mad at Travis Kelce. Absolutely. If you want to date black girls, dude, more power to you, bruh. And dude, the black girls he gets are, damn. It almost makes me want to say, you know what? I might actually give a sister a chance every once in a while. All right. But anyway, Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends in football. Charlie, what is your prediction and by how many?
100% going with Kansas City here. I do think it's within 10 points. I don't think it's a blowout. The reason for that being is, well, you have the chance of a blowout because Kansas City can score as many points whenever they fucking want because their offense is just that good. But the 49ers D line, I do think gets to Mahomes and Sherman also, has the potential to pick it off. So I think there will be some turnovers. So I think we have a fourth quarter game here, but Kansas City by, I would say 6 or maybe 10.
It's going to be close. Okay. Very good. Clutch.
Oh, I may just have to go the opposite direction, and trust me.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan because, like what you said earlier about how a lot of people sort of see themselves in quarterbacks, and that's when they go with. It's not even because he's it's sort of because of that, but I'm not a tribalist by any means. But I will say this: if I ever have a son, he reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. Trust me. It's like, shit, I can have a son and look like that in the future. But in any case,
right.
It'll be outside this country, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I have to give the Niners this only because the Niners defense is just that much better than I would say the Chiefs.
I agree with you on that. The Niners have that hellified defense, man.
Yeah, the offense, I would say Patrick Mahomes is better than Jimmy G, but how much we really don't know, and we won't know until tonight. But I rest assured you will have Richard Sherman doing the work. I mean, whoever he has to cover. George Kittle's good, but yeah, he's going to have some trouble if Sherman's on him. And then obviously you have Bosa, the defensive player of the year right there.
Yeah.
So, and both of these guys, it's their first time in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So both of them are going to be the big lights. I think it's going to throw them off in the first quarter. I don't think we'll have much action in the first quarter, but the second, third, and fourth quarter, that's when we'll see the action. To be honest, I got San Francisco by 4.
Okay. That's a solid prediction. And I will tell you this. The reason why the 49ers defense is so good is because they can get pressure rushing 4. The Niners don't have to blitz to get pressure on the quarterback. If they have to blitz to get if they can get pressure on Mahomes with just the 4 down linemen, D Ford, Bosa, and those guys, then I think Kansas City's in trouble. But if they have to blitz Mahomes to get pressure on him, dude, Mahomes, all right, I see the blitz. Somebody's open. Oop, there he is. Travis Kelce. Oop, dude, don't let Tyreek Hill get open. Oh, my God. If they can get pressure with just 4 without having to blitz, I think San Francisco has a chance. So that's a good prediction there. MLD, who wins the Super Bowl and why?
35-21 Kansas City.
Okay, that's solid. Okay.
I just think Mahomes is just like, he's like a Brady 2.0. Like he really, the way he plays, the way he moves, he plays smart. He has a correct amount of athleticism. He's like the perfect hybrid between a black quarterback and a white quarterback, in my opinion.
He actually is a hybrid.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like he literally is too. So like, I was retarded at the beginning of this year because I just, living in Tokyo, I'm not as connected. Yeah. But I've seen this guy now, and like, my buddy is a Titans fan. I was like, listen, dude, like, you guys did a really good job, but like you're going to lose to Mahomes. And I think that the Niners will slow him down, but I think 35-21. To be honest with you, I think the Niners had kind of a weak schedule this year. Not
They
that.
were 4-12. No, you're right, but they were 4-12. They had a last place schedule with a first place team. Not going to be like that next year, obviously, right?
Right.
But I
So I think that the schedule, is a little weak, and that's what I see. And then honestly, as much as I hate that fat fucker, Andy Reid's a genius because he caused a lot of trouble for me when I was, when he was with you guys. But that he's a smart man. He's a smart man. He's not no fool.
And listen, to that other caller's credit, and I forget which one of you guys said this, coaching absolutely matters. And yes, why? Donovan McNabb is not a Hall of Famer, but people are asking, should Donovan McNabb be in the Hall of Fame? Donovan McNabb was okay. Donovan McNabb, honestly, he's Dak Prescott. Donovan McNabb was Dak Prescott 20 years ago. That's who he was. He could run, kind of accurate, but he had Andy Reid. That's why he went to 5 NFC championship games, made a Super Bowl appearance. So we all wondered, man, if Andy Reid got his hands on a generational type of talent, what would happen? He's got one. This kid threw 50 touchdown passes his first year starting in the league. And if not for D Ford, who's on the 49ers, lining up an inch and a half offsides, the Chiefs would have been in the Super Bowl last year because if you remember, Brady threw an interception that ended the game. The Chiefs were on their way to the Super Bowl, but it was offsides on the defense, D Ford. Brady got another chance, and the rest, as they say, is history. So there was another point that I wanted to make, but I totally forgot. Yeah, I think the sentimental favorite is definitely Andy Reid because we like Patrick Mahomes better. We like Andy Reid better. He's sort of the lovable, sympathetic figure. So now, listen, even though my prediction is a blowout, I really hope to see a very good game. I do like it when Super Bowls are competitive. Last year's Super Bowl was boring because just didn't really have that much scoring. But I think we're going to see some points in this one. But in my prediction, I think it's going to be all on Kansas City's side, man. I think it's going to be 42-10. The Neg one says, come on, Donovan, give the Niners some credit. If the Niners can get pressure on Patrick Mahomes without having to blitz, the Chiefs are in trouble. I don't know that they can do that. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's wrap this up here. Final words, Miami J.
All right, so first off, let me say, when we were doing the show at the beginning of the year, so yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs still. MLD, what was your record?
Okay.
No, sorry. One more thing. The most underrated. One thing I don't think anybody's counting on the most underrated group in the NFL is that Chiefs offensive line. Those guys can play.
Yep.
So I'm not sure the Niners are going to have that much success rushing 4. But go Chiefs.
Okay, Charlie.
Yeah, I love San Francisco's D-line, so I do think they actually can only rush 4. They got it against the Vikings. Our offensive line's not as good as Kansas City's, but still, they did it against Green Bay as well. I think they can do it again here, so that's what makes it a game. I just hope we don't get Kyle Shanahan doing the same thing he did with the Falcons in terms of against the Patriots, giving up a huge lead and then just bombing the game. So I hope it stays competitive, but I got the Chiefs in this one.
Okay. It's clutch. Final words, parting shots.
All right. Next year, was it Sharpe assist? And give me the invite to the fantasy league because I got that like an hour before you guys signed up, which is the reason why I was.
I got you, man. I got you.
All right, I appreciate it. But yeah, I hope this is a good game. I mean, as I said, my brain says the Niners are going to win this off only due to the defense, but my heart does want to see Patrick Mahomes win the trophy for multiple reasons.
Well,
what's up?
I will say this. They both got plenty of time, right? Like dude, Andy Reid can coach for another 10 years. Kyle Shanahan, I mean, he's our age. So yeah. So I think this is gonna be I think if he loses this, it's we don't have to feel sorry for anybody.
One thing I forgot, I did have a bold prediction to make.
All right. Oh, so did I.
Super Bowl MVP, Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, wow. Super Bowl MVP, the Honey Badger. Here's my prediction. Patrick Mahomes, the first pass he's going to throw, he's going to overthrow his receiver by about 75 yards because of those nerves. He's going to throw like an out pattern. It's going to be all that adrenaline, and Mahomes throws the ball. Oh, and it hits the upright on a little 5-yard out there from their own 25. Mahomes overthrowing Tyreek Hill by 75 yards. MLD, final words.
I'm gonna be the Super Bowl starts at 8:30 a.m. Monday morning in Tokyo.
Jesus.
So me and Charlie are going to Hooters, and we're gonna get absolutely smashed at this early in the morning. Like, you could follow me on Instagram at Modern Life Dating. Just put it in the chat if you guys want to see.
Oh, I'm gonna see.
I know Charlie's gonna go off the rails, so
No, I'll be fine. I'll get it.
right.
I have just one or two, it's all good.
I'll be filming Charlie get taken away by the Tokyo police. So if you guys want to see that on Instagram, go ahead and follow me there. It's going to be amazing. And if you just want to see what it's like to all the Japanese fans and stuff enjoying the game.
What is the NFL market like in Japan? Do Japanese people
non-existent?
Oh, I didn't think so. Because they love the NFL in England and they love the NFL down in Mexico. I guess they really like American football.
No, they're confused by it all.
Yeah, why do they say first down when the guy's been down 3 times? Oh, God. That's going to do it for the last edition of TSR Sunday Rundown. I would definitely like to reprise this next season.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, I would have stayed with it, but my channel at the time was in the middle of an unprecedented, unpredicted, unforeseen growth, and it really just kind of took me by surprise. But hopefully I'll have everything in cruise control by about this time next season. We'll do another TSR Fantasy League. So Miami J, Charlie, MLD's NSO's Clutch. I appreciate you guys joining me on at least the 6 episodes that we did, and we will see you guys all next year.